Hi, I'm Niamh Cassidy, ex-social care worker turned parent educator and IBCLC. When I started out, I struggled to get clients and to gain visibility. I knew I was good at my work and that I could truly help people, but I didn't know how to get that message out or to get clients in. Marketing and selling felt icky and not what I was about, and what I did try rarely worked anyway. I bought trainings, joined memberships, worked with mentors, but it often felt like they didn't really understand what it is that we do and the importance of being ethical and authentic. So I set out on a mission to learn, experiment, and develop ways I could share my message, support my clients, make a consistent income, and feel good about it. Today, I run a successful private practice and I want to help you to do the same. Hello and welcome to the Pregnancy and Postnatal Entrepreneurs Collective podcast. I am your host, Niamh Cassidy, and I am the founder of the collective. If this is your first time joining us, thank you, and you are very welcome to be with us here today. I'm so glad to have you. I am a lactation consultant and a childbirth educator, and I have been in private practice for the past 3 years. I've really enjoyed building my business, and I'm hoping to help you build yours too. In today's episode, I want to talk a bit about community. And this isn't the episode I had actually planned for today, but it is the one that I'm recording because it's on the top of my heart and on the top of my mind at the moment. Recently, my mother had a unexpected accident and ended up needing surgery, and we were all very concerned, and I was unable to work for a period of time due to supporting her and my dad with each of their needs. I was really lucky to be able to stop working for those few weeks as I had additional reserves in my business for these type of emergencies. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is the importance of community in business, in building your business, and in supporting you in your business too. So the reason, or part of the reason why this is top of my mind is because of what I just mentioned about the difficulty with my mother having an accident. And when I informed my colleagues, my peers, my friends, my community, the other lactation consultants in my area, that I was not going to be able to work for a couple of weeks because of what had happened, that wasn't met with silent glee of, oh, brilliant, there'll be more clients for me. It was met with support for me emotionally, with people reaching out to tell me that they were thinking of me, and if there was anything that I needed that they could support me with, that they were there. If I needed to refer any clients, that they would be happy to take them. But not even that. I had messages from one of the most important people, one of my big support people, and she will know who she is, to say that she would do the follow up with my clients that I already had if I needed her to do that. And that's what building community with your peers brings. It brings that level of support. If you've heard anything from the collective already, a big part of what I do is around creating the idea of community over competition. That when we work together, we are better, that everyone benefits when we work as a collective rather than as individuals who are in competition with each other. And that really hit home over the last 2 weeks because of the situation that I found myself in and not being able to work and having the support of my community, my peers, the people who could be seen as my competition, but who are not because we all work together and support each other. The collective itself was born out of this idea of creating community. Part of that reason I've talked about before, I talked about when I started my practice and how I was struggling with this idea of getting myself out there and being worried about other people getting more clients than I was. But there was another part of that that I haven't talked about before. And part of that was that when I was getting started and when things were starting to take off for me in one particular aspect of my business, that another person in the birth world was upset with the fact that I was growing in this particular area of my business, or at least that's my perception of how the situation evolved. And they made steps to try to scupper that part of my business, almost trying to take it over because I hadn't joined in with the part that they had hoped that I would join with them rather than going out on my own. And that really upset me. I really looked up to this person. I thought they'd done wonderful work. They had been a background mentor to me for a long time, in that I looked up to the work that they were doing. I found it really hard that this person saw me as competition and not as a peer, not as a support person. That really set me on a journey for how I wanted to be in my work and how I wanted to bring people together and not divide people. And how, while working together with my peers was so much more important to me than this idea of one man up ship or one woman up ship or doing better than somebody else, that it was more about working together and that we're all better off together. And I want to talk you through a few of the ways that I've been able to build community in my business so that it might be an inspiration for you if you don't currently have that community to build community in your business too. So, my initial community starts out with a voluntary organization that I am part of and that brought me into this work. So, by remaining part of that voluntary organization, even while I've gone into paid work in a similar area, I have a natural community of peers and friends in both the childbirth education and in the breastfeeding end. So, maintaining those relationships, continuing with my volunteer work, has been a huge support to me, both emotionally and professionally, in building my business. So, if you are part of a community group or a volunteer organization that has brought you into this work, my suggestion would always be to maintain that as much as you can and to keep those peers and those friends in the loop and make sure to continue to nurture your relationships with those people and to keep your community of support there with you. Other things that I have done to build community is in entering paid memberships. I'm a member of three different paid memberships. One is for lactation workers specifically, and that membership is around everything got to do with the work. So it's got to do with the business end of things, it's got to do with the clinical end of things, and it's just a really lovely community of international support. And that is really helpful for me. So that is one of the paid memberships that I have brought myself into because I know the importance of building community in this work that we do. One of the reasons why it's so important to build community in the work that we do is because of we mostly work on our own. So most of the time we are solopreneurs, we're completely working on our own, and being able to have all of those people around us really helps with everything. So I've learned so much from both the volunteer organization I've been part of and that paid community that I just talked about, both in relation to practice and in how I run my business or how I manage myself within my business, and also in clinical things and in learning lots of new different things and learning about how other people work as well has been really helpful for me. When we surround ourselves with people who build us up, who can support us, and who we can learn from, and they can learn from us, that benefits us both in our practice in working with families, but also in our business and in our mental health and in supporting ourselves to keep going with the work that we do, which can often be challenging. I'm also in two other paid membership communities. Both are focusing on the business end of the work. So they're for entrepreneurs and they're for course creators. Those two memberships have also given me a lot of learning and knowledge and community and support. So, by being around other people who are building businesses, who are building courses, who are doing work in the business end of things that I want to do, has really helped me grow my viewpoints. It's helped me learn about new technology, and it's given me lots of support when I didn't know what to do, when I've been at a crossroads. So, in particular, recently I was in the middle of developing something, and then when my mum had that accident, I was in a bit of a tizzy and I wasn't sure what to do. And I was able to go to those both of those business communities and ask and see, even just by putting it all down on paper or onto the internet and having other people to respond and to give me their thoughts and their processes of what it was I could do was really, really helpful for me in gaining some clarity in what the next steps were going to be for me. So I have benefited hugely from the various communities that I'm in. And I have also created communities as well. So in one of those memberships, I created a peer mastermind. So there's 5 of us that now meet monthly on Zoom. And we're all in different areas of business, but we are all women in business. And we meet for an hour over Zoom once a month, and then we keep in touch through WhatsApp in between. And again, being able to learn and grow with new people, with people who have slightly different mindsets or who are in different areas of business, but are there just to support each other. And the only purpose is to give support and to get support. So all 5 of us they are there for that reason. This is not a paid offer. It's not something that any of us are benefiting from financially. It's just 5 women who came together to work together to help each other with their businesses. And it's been really, really helpful because I can't take all the courses. You can't take all the courses. So being able to learn from other people who've already been there, who've already done that, who already have some knowledge that you don't have, we can Google and we can look up everything, and it could take us days and weeks. And sometimes just putting a question out there to a group of people and someone can bang, instantly come back with an answer because they already know. And that has been so helpful in so many areas of my practice and in my business with being members of all of these different communities that I've talked about. So, they're just some examples of how community has worked for me. But just to talk a little bit more, I suppose, about how you can build your own communities as well. So, looking at any volunteer organizations that you may be part of or any associations. So, if you're in an association of doulas or an association of lactation consultants, really feeding into those associations so that you can benefit from the group and the group can benefit from you, because it is very much about working together and giving as much as we take as well. So building that community of peers can also lead to opportunities for collaboration and growth. And when you connect with others who share your values and goals, you can work together on projects that benefit everyone. For example, you could collaborate on a workshop or event, help each other out with referrals when you're too busy or when you're away, and vice versa. People can refer into you. And when we do work together, we're able to reach a wider audience of people and grow our businesses much more quickly than we were working alone. So, when we have those referral pathways between each other, when a doula sends her clients to me for a VBAC preparation course, or when a doula sends her clients to me for a breastfeeding course or for breastfeeding support after the baby is born. They're all really helpful things in nurturing what I do and in supporting the families that we all want to support. And vice versa, when I have people in my antenatal classes and my childbirth education classes, and I'm talking about the benefits of different types of care and types of support, and I'm talking about the benefits of doula support. And then someone asks, do you know any doulas in my area? That sounds really interesting. I'm able to give out the information of the doulas who I know, who I support, who we refer to each other. So everyone supports each other in the work that we do. And all of the families and the babies and the parents and the expectant parents get to benefit too, because they find the information much easier and they learn about more of the services that are available to them, and they can access the support they once they know about it. So if you don't already have a community of peers, looking into your local associations first if you have them, looking into local networking groups if there are any of them in your area. And it doesn't always have to be around birth or postnatal. It might be a general business networking group or a women's networking group. Attending any events, meetups, introducing yourself to people. I've mentioned this before, I'm a complete introvert, so introducing myself to people is really, really difficult. So, one thing that I do is at events, if I see kind of a smaller group of people having a chat, I may just kind of pop in and say, "Oh, hi, I'm here on my own. Is it okay if I join you?" And then I'll just listen for a little while and either wait for someone to ask me a question about who I am or what I do, or look for a natural break when I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable and that the time is right for me to introduce myself. So it's not always about looking for a gain and looking for referrals. It's also about building up those people who can be that support when you need it. So as I talked closer to the start of the episode about me needing that support because I wasn't able to work for a few weeks, and being able to get that emotional and practical support from my peers, that was really beneficial for me. And it was really beneficial for the families that I work with as well, because when I wasn't able to support them, I was able to refer them on to other people who could support them and who I trusted would do a good job of it as well. And it's also really important to remember it's not just about finding community and benefiting from that community. It's about being a good community member too, being able to offer that support and advice to other people when they need it, when they are having challenges where they need support, and being open to collaborate and to support other people in the work that they are doing. This is one of the reasons why I created the collective. I wanted to be able to give back to other people, to be able to support people in growing their businesses in a way that I didn't have that level of business support when I started. And when we work together and we support each other, we all benefit. So that was a little bit more of a personal episode than I have tended to do to date. I'm sorry if it was a bit rambly. As I said, this wasn't the episode I intended on recording today, but it was top of my mind, on top of my heart. I honestly really feel in my bones, in everything that I do, that we need to work together, that we need to be a community, we need to collaborate, and we need to not see each other as competition, because we are all there for the benefit of the families and of the children who will grow. And we want to be able to help as many people as we can. And I truly believe that we do that better together than we do apart. So just to sum up, building a community of peers is really crucial for birth and postnatal workers. It can be a great source of support and advice, as well as opportunities for collaboration and growth. So don't be afraid to reach out to each other and be a good community member as well. When we all work together, we can really can achieve great things. If you'd like to join us in the collective, it's a free Facebook group. The links will be in the show notes, so please come over and join us and come and say hello and get ready to build your community and to collaborate with each other. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed the podcast, I would be so grateful if you would leave me a 5-star review and some comments on what you enjoyed. And please pop over to my Instagram and send me a little DM. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to download your totally free copy of the Birth Workers Business Playbook, now available for a limited time only. So check out the show notes to get your link and get your copy.